Okay, what I want to do right now is first and foremost cover how do you post the actual video and present it to your students using either Pages or using modules. So I know most of you are probably going to want to present it in modules as lessons, and that's great. But it can be done through Pages. But I also want to review some of the elements of the structure within Studio, just so everybody's got a clear idea on it. So, and again, I want to emphasize that it's really important as you wrap up your videos to do something akin to what I'm about to do, is to, in other words, put it all together for your students. Let them see how it all, coordinates. That's a very important element within planning the video. So let me shrink myself up. And there we are. Here's the library. Again, this is the library in Studio. Notice it says that up in the top. And I really want to emphasize this. I'll come back to it. We're in the Studio at the global level, not in the class. We're not in a single class right now. We're in the global menu. This is something that's available throughout your account in Canvas. And I will show you a little bit of how it works within a class when you use the course menu, which I'm going to ask you not to use. Also, the difference with the global menu. We're in the global one right now, and that is, notice I clicked on Studio and Global, and that's everything I have. I have all of these videos available for all my English 101 courses that I teach each semester, and these are going to be there next semester, and these are going to be there next year. I will warn everybody that our contract with for Studio is scheduled to run out in 2 years, but there's a good chance it's going to be renewed, so we should still have this. But so this might be taken away, but you can do this. And this is the folder that we just put together. I'm going to get rid of this. I don't need this after I finish with you guys here. But this was the video for instruction file. And notice we have this. I can use the alligator to share the collection. I don't want to share all the collections. I could rename it or I could delete it. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do any of these yet. But if I wanted to share the video, which is what you're going to want to do, you can go in here and it's going to give you that option to share the media. Remember, the alligator mouth is how you share it. Or you can move it into another folder if you wanted to. That's how we moved it in there in the first place. Or the thumbnail thing, which I don't really know how to do. But the quizzes, this still has that quiz that I started to make on it. But if you want to add a quiz, it gives you those 3 question types: the true, false, the multiple choice, and the multiple answer. And you can embed those into the video itself. I do want to encourage you to think through how you want your students to respond to your video. It isn't a good idea to think that they'll sit there and watch it and learn the material and say, have a nice day. You should have, in this video itself, it's got a place for comments. If you're going to use the comments, which I personally don't use, but I do know instructors who do, I really encourage you, when you plan out the video, put some questions in your video for your students to write about. I think that's a very good idea. And so just because I don't do it doesn't mean it's not a great idea. It's a great idea, okay? To tell the students that, what do you think about, this, and this. And then there are the insights that'll give you the data. Then there are the captions. You enter those. And I do want to show you, this didn't work last time. It didn't work properly. But this little CC button right here, that's how you turn the captions on. And this video has been captioned, and this is the one I was working with earlier. And captions are going to be in English, I hope. And if I played it, boom. Okay, I want to take a little bit of time. Notice the captions go at the top, and the students can follow this. All your students can follow your captions, no matter what. If they're deaf, they must, follow the content of it that way. But if they're not, there's a darn good chance they're going to turn them on right there. Okay, and that's how they would do it. And so the captions are there for you to turn on. It doesn't take long for them to work, but you've got it. Here's the share and there's the download. And I'm going to use that in a moment. But let's go back to the library. And let me show you this, because I am now on the 4th video. And so I've got 2 other videos that I'm going to need to upload, that I've got available to upload. And let's make some more room here. Remember, this is video 1. I believe this is video 2. And this is video 3. And if you think through how would I put these into Studio, I'm going to move them. I'm going to go add right here. And I'm going to drag and drop those. And I'm going to put those over here. So, and then I'm going to drag and drop 3. And then I'm going to drag and drop this one. But now what I'm actually going to do is when I deliver these to you right now, the way you're watching these is through YouTube. So let me show you a little bit of a stunt with that. Okay. I will show you how to post them to YouTube, but let's take a look first. The big thing that you wanted to know with this video, but again, always keep in mind in the upper right hand corner is the record and the add. And then you also have the categories that you can put them into. Okay. The collection allows you to build file folders to organize your videos. Okay, so always remember those are there. But let's go into a class and go through the 2 possibilities for posting. Let's go over here. Okay, and I'll show you a little bit. And this is my dashboard. This is some of the training classes that are there. This is one of my sandboxes. But let me show you in one of my classes that has not started just yet, but it does have the video, the studio right here. That's in the class itself. That is a version of Studio right now that's in the class itself. But I really want to make this clear. I encourage you not to use that. Okay? Instead, as I inch over here, okay, use this Studio. It's in the global menu. So again, this Studio shows up in the course, and I think it's grabbed some of the videos and moved them in there. Let me see. Yeah, it's moved the orientation. I'm going to get rid of these anyway. Let me go ahead and get rid of these right now. Yeah, because I don't want to use the Studio inside the class itself. I want to use Studio here, okay, in the global menu. So the global menu is this, and notice I can access it from any class that I want to. I'm accessing it right now from English 81. It's in the global menu, so I can do that, okay? And watch this little trick. If I go back to my dashboard, I'm going to go to the dashboard right now. And if I clicked into this, let me just go to another real class. This is a real class for the spring. It hasn't started yet, so there aren't any real students in it. It does have Studio in the class itself, but it shouldn't have anything. I don't think it does. No, it doesn't have any videos. That's great. So this class has no videos, but I do have access, and this is English 101, to my global Studio. Okay. And notice what I can do here. Okay, notice what I can do here. And I'm going to go back to the dashboard, and I'll go to a class that I know that I have not posted any video yet. It's a shell, and it's going to be a real class for an English 104 that I'm working on right now that I haven't finished. But let's say I want to post some of these videos in this class. And remember, I have 2 methods I can use. I can use modules, which most of you will probably want to use, or I can do it in pages. So let's go into this English 104, and this one is, again, a class I'm constructing right now, but this is what it would look like. And these are, this is, again, down here in the lower left-hand part, right over here, I have Studio within my class, and this is an English 104. I have not made videos yet for English 104, and so this thing is empty, okay? And I don't want to fill up the Studio in my course menu. I don't want to do that. I've got all my videos, and again, notice in my course menu, in the Studio and the course menu, it's empty, okay? But the Studio at the global level is filled with English 101 videos. I've got to make some English 104 videos and put them in here. But let's just imagine that I'm in this English 104 class, okay? And let's go back to the home, okay? And I've got my two methods I can post them with. I can go into modules if I wanted to, okay? If you've got your modules all set up, okay? And so this is just barely set up. I've just got, the beginnings of a class going on here. Let's say I wanted to insert a video into let's say in week 1. What the heck? Here you go. And this is modules that everybody's familiar with. Here you go right here. Okay. You click on the little plus symbol. Let me put it, it's right above my head. Right there. Okay. Click on that little plus symbol, and that's how we're going to do it. And what we're going to do is add an external tool. This is very important. It's not going to say studio on there. It's not going to say studio. It's not going to say course video. You're going to reach for an external tool, okay? Because Canvas Studio is an external tool. But now notice right above it, you have an external URL. And if you think back to a couple of videos ago, you had that option of loading into your Studio collection, into your Studio library, a YouTube video. The reason I don't think that is worthwhile is because you can post with an external URL. So if you want to grab a video from YouTube, you can just put it up with that. You don't need to move it into your Studio. Okay. So again, if you want to just post a YouTube video, you can do it with the external URL. Okay. I'm not going to do that right now with you guys, but instead we're going to go to how do you post those darn studio videos? And you're going to use an external tool. And this is what you're going to do, is it's going to say external tool, and it's going to give you right away Canvas Studio. Everybody recognizes this screen. This is my global studio. That's where I keep everything. And again, you don't want to use the course menu for your studio. You want to use the global menu for your studio. And let's say, and I'm going to erase this anyway because the class doesn't start for a few weeks. Let's say I wanted to get one of the videos for instruction right here. Okay, so let's say I wanted to post this one. Okay, and I just hit embed. So let me go back over that for a bit. Let's go back. And I can go into the modules. Everybody is probably familiar with this. Okay. And then I click on that little plus sign right there. Let me get out of the way because it's going to hit me in the head, and I don't like that. And then I go to, and I say external tool is what I choose. I choose an external tool, and I pick Canvas Studio, and it's going to take me to my global menu for my studio. And bingo, there it is. And now I could post that video I've got to go in and select the video. And dang, if I can't embed that darn thing. And let's just say I had comments, I'd choose to do that. I don't encourage you to display the download option because then the students can download the video and then who knows, then they've got your stuff. Or if you want to choose another video, you can do that. But if you want to embed that video in your modules, go ahead and embed it. And that bad boy is added right there. And then you can move them up and say, hey, watch my video first thing. No, I don't want to do that. I want to erase that. But that's what you would do. That's how you would get it into modules. Okay. First with the plus. Then you choose external tool. It's going to try to take you to an assignment, but you're like, yeah, I'm going to choose external tool, not external URL. That's if you want to post a YouTube video. That's how you do it, or a Vimeo video. External tool. and I hit Studio, and this is where I get all the stuff I've put together. And bingo, bingo, embed that bad boy, add that item, and there he is. And that's in your modules, okay? Now, and that shows you how to do it in modules, and you can put it in here and ask them to do it. Now, if you are, let me kind of increase myself here. And this is a pedagogical issue. If you want to embed a quiz into the video itself, you've got it built into it. You know the students are watching it, okay? If you want to develop a quiz, a distinct quiz for after they're done with the video, come on over here and take the quiz. That's what I do, okay? It's entirely up to you. Entirely up to you. If you want to embed it into the video, you can do it. I believe that's difficult to do with the screen readers, so I don't like it, okay? That's me. The screen readers will get through the quizzes, so it will work, okay? It will. I believe it's a little bit challenging. That's me. That's up to you. So you can put a discussion in the video itself, or you can create a discussion after the video using Canvas to create the discussion. That's what I do because I don't like the functionality within the video functioning of Studio. I don't like how the discussions work. I don't like it. Other people who know more than I do, they like it. It's up to you, and entirely up to you. Let me shrink myself down again, and I'll show you how I do it. I embed it in Pages, and I'll do this for you right now. Let's go back to my 104, and let's post a video in week 1. In my lesson, I use Pages, by the way, for my class. This is the week 1 lesson. See, we're going to do how to murder Julius Caesar on the Ides of March. That should be fun, extra credit. And this is where I'm going to place my video. I've got a location where I'm going to put it. This is a page, and I'm going to put it on this page right there. What I do is this. So the one way is to insert the media, and you go through one of these. This is what I like a little bit better, is to go here, okay, and to go to the cloud function. I like this better, but again, I want to emphasize, you can do it if you want through the link, through the URL. Remember that the video gives you through that alligator mouth, it gives you a URL link, and you can do that here, okay? And that's where it is. The link can go right there. Okay, so if you want to insert it into a page, you can do it that way. Or you can use this, and you can record the media here. It's a little tricky with the captions. It's not going to work for you, so I encourage you to use Studio. You can use the course media, which would allow you to choose the files and everything else. Okay, but this is the way I like best, which is to go to this little kebab thing right above my head, and to go to the little cloud. It's going to rain on me in about 2 seconds. Go to the cloud, and here is the embed code. So remember those 2 things that the alligator mouth gives you is an embed code and a URL. So you can put the URL in if you want to go through the link, or you can put it in through the course media. I like to use the embed code. That's how I like to insert the video into this table. Okay, and so let's do that for a bit. Let's go get the embed code. Okay, let's go back to Studio. Leave the site. Let's go to Studio, and let's go to the video. And you guys remember this. Everybody remembers the library. And let's go to the video, and I can get the share media here. That alligator mouth is where I'm going to get the share media. And remember, you get the URL in the embed code from the alligator mouth. Okay? Or I can go into the video itself, and here's the alligator. He's back again. It's like living in Florida. Kinda. And there it is. Here's the URL on the top. Right above my head, that's the URL. That's the line you usually see at the top of your browser. And here is the embed code. That's what I like. That's not the URL. Okay? This is a file, this is the actual video file. So let's copy. Well, it's not quite the video, but we copied it. And let's go back to the course and get back in there and find my way back. There's the course again. And remember, we wanted to act like we want to insert this video right here. We want to make it appear there. So I go into the kebab and I look for the rain cloud. And then I have the embed code. I have it copied in the memory. I do Control V, and there it is. So it's up to you. You can either go through the modules, hit the plus sign, and then external link, use an external tool, and then go to Canvas Studio and then find it in Canvas Studio or in your Canvas Studio. It will take you to your global menu. Or you can embed it using the little kebab and choose the cloud, or you can use a URL through the link. Okay, it's up to you. But let me just quickly go over some of these elements. And let's get out of this course. And so those are all the main things I wanted to go over with you on video. And if you want to stop and start this video again, you can. Those are the 3 types of recorder. Or let me go back to one more screen here. Make darn sure, sit over here, okay, that your videos are captioned. It's so easy to forget. At the end of the process, select go to the captioning option, and then go to choosing the captions and have it do it automatically. Request the captions, and it's gonna at most, if your video is 10 minutes long, it's gonna take 5 to 8 minutes. It's not going to take that long. Okay, and then review them and publish them. It's that fast. So make sure it's always done, and if you do it with a microphone, it will work better. The auto captions are fine. 3C Media will do a much better job, but you know what? They still work. Auto captioning works fine. Okay, 3C Media does a magnificent job, does the best job out there. YouTube does a good job. Good. Not as good as 3C Media. That's a hosting site. It's funded by the Community College Foundation. But it does take a little bit longer. They actually have people typing it. YouTube has a dungeon down below its offices in San Bruno where they keep gnomes. And all they do is captioning all day long. And they share space with the studio folks. Amara, it's a place that I used years ago. I don't encourage it. They do a good job, but it's time consuming. The recorders, just to review, it's Screencast-O-Matic, or you can use Screencastify, which is, it's an extension on your browser that you can implant into Chrome if you'd like to. That's up to you. But Camtasia's out there. It's magnificent. But the hosting sites are YouTube, Vimeo, 3C Media, and Studio right here. That's the one that most of you are going to want to use. But YouTube, I do want to mention very quickly. It's right here. This is my YouTube account. And notice this little icon up here in the right corner. Let me put right above my finger right here. That tells me I'm logged into my account. And my account is joseph.pendletonvvc@gmail.com. They do ask that you use Gmail because YouTube and Gmail are both owned by Google. You can do it without a Gmail account. They just won't allow you to post anything over 15 minutes. But you can see, if I get out of the way here, I have a studio. Everybody who gets an account at YouTube gets a studio, and I've started to develop this new studio with my videos in it, and notice that the structure is, and all those tools are here. Studio did replicate what you can see in YouTube. These are all what we have is, the file folders in Studio, they've got as playlists. Okay, it's the same basic thing. YouTube is much more powerful. but Studio does, with its categories, have the same basic function as a playlist. Okay, it works just fine. YouTube is more powerful and more flexible. You can copyright your stuff. They call it subtitles, it's captioning. And they do a plenty good job. They do a very good job. And you can see that, these kind of things are, titled right there. They are captioned. And they do a decent job. And notice if I turn the captions on, they're right here.
What are we going to do for the final essay? And aren't we working on Washington Black? And yes.
So they do the captions for you, so it's there if you need to use YouTube. Okay? So that's all I wanted to go over, and I've gone way over on my time on this one, but I hope that helps you get started with video and that you understand Studio a little bit better and kind of the offshoots with, producing video, uploading it and getting it going, make sure it's captioned, but also understand that you're going to change over time. The way I made videos when I started was I used to post them at Vimeo, and they were worse than this one. No, really, they were worse than this. But you will change over time, and you will learn how you work best in video if you just jump in and give it a go. Okay. So send me any questions if you have them through VVC. Okay. Good luck with this and have fun with it, guys. Take care.